And let's come back to our home page. We will start with the designing part, which is here, orders. So we click here, we would enter like a list, order list. Each time we add a new order here, it will be here. And let's try adding one. We click the add order and then we will come to this page. Here we could input the name of the project. I'm going to do like a test here. And if we save the order, it will be here, like the test. And in one order, there could be like a lot of rooms. You could design the cabinets in each different rooms. For example, we click add room. We could select the name here, or we could also input the name by ourselves. For example, the living room or maybe kitchen or like bathroom. And after it's confirmed, we click here. And then we will come to the like the this is like the room, and this is where we design our cabinet. And firstly, you can see there are different perspective, 2D and 3D. We could switch by double clicking, or maybe here, and you could also set up the shortcuts of the switching by yourself. And let's introduce like one by one. On the left side, there are like different components of the of how we build this room. Like there are like cabinets, ordinary cabinets, cardboards, like special shaped cabinets, and there are also window, doors, beam. This is what I used to make this room. And in the middle, it's just where we draw and design. On the right side, it's like information. There are like the information of the room now, because we haven't adding cabinets for now. If we add cabinets, there will be like the information of the cabinets. And here, just like the system function of the, each every software would have. And now, how should we design our own cabinets? It's basically very simple or mm, easy, should I say, easy to do it. Like you just need to understand the logic of how this software works, and then it will be very easy. For example, we are going to add a very simple or ordinary cabinet. We need to add a new cabinet, ordinary cabinet. We just choose it here, and then we press our mouse and then drag. There will be like a block or a cube here, and then we could switch to 3D to check. Oh, by the way, the 3D perspective is mainly used to observe or to check if there are any mistake or how this cabinet look like. If we are going to do some changes or like design, we have to do it at the 2D perspective. And now after this block is done, we could see now we are in the room mode. And later our first cabinet will be done at this block. And as I just said, if we select this block and here, there will be like the information of this cabinet. We could set up the material we are going to use and the texture and maybe the panel type. We could also change its color. and of course its size. We could also change the size here. Um, what's the difference? For here, we could only like input a specific number. For example, I'm going to do a 600 millimeters wide. I could do it like here, but for we could also do it here. Like it would be much more easier here because we could directly plus or minus a specific number. For example, I'm going to do a 900 height, 900 high cabinets. We could directly minus like I will minus like 605.78, and then you will be done. And here is the dips. It depends on how deep we want. And then if we are going to design or draw, we need to double click to enter this block. And now we are in cabinet mode. And you can also see the component here changes. Here are the things we used to right used to build a cabinet. For example, partition, which is the board or panel. We usually use the partition first to build the basic frame of this cabinet. It's also very simple. We choose what we want to add first, and then comes to the middle. We decide where we want to add a new panel or partition. For example, if I'm going to add a new panel in the middle of this cabinet, I just need to press my mouse and drag and let go. There will be like a panel here. If we are going to do it at the top or the both side, we could do it out of this cube, and then it will be just right here at the top of this cabinet. And let's delete them. So if we're going to design a cabinet, we usually first add the top panel or the side panel first. For example, like this, and then the top. For the bottom, we could add a panel. We could also do like a skirting. If we're going to add a skirting, we just need to choose it, click it, and then drag where we wanted to add the skirting. For example, here, and then there will be like a skirting. We could also change the maybe the material or the thickness of each different panel. For example, I'm going to change this panel to a different material or more thicker or less a thicker one or less thick one. For example, here I'll do it like change it to 50, and then you will be. And now you can see a basic frame is already done. And then next time, what we really do is maybe add the back panel, and it also works the same. We click the back panel, we choose the back panel, and press and drag our mouse at where we want to add the back panel. Let go, and then there will be like a back panel like this. And then maybe add a door. It's just here. It works the same. Press and drag, and then let go, and there will be like a door here. After it's done, we could click the animation to check how it works or if there's any mistake. Um, it's not very perfect. If we wanna customize it, we could do it like here. The first step maybe usually the door panel need to cover the boards on the 4 sides, up, down, left, right. We could do it here like the full cover or half cover. We usually do like the full cover. You could see the difference while I click here. For first, the left side, if I choose the full, I click the full, you can see a difference. The door panel extends to cover this board on the left side. For the other sides, they work the same. I will just do all full covered, and you will be the panels on every side will be covered. And then we could do the lamination again. And what if we wanna, after this cabinet is done, we wanna add some more panel or some more things inside of this cabinet? There will be like a function called hide. It's just here. We could hide this panel on this door or other panel here. We could select them together and hide them at one time. If we want them back, we could click here, click to display, and then we'll be back. So if we want to add something inside of this cabinet, we could click hide and then come back to the first step, like click the partition. For example, I'm going to do a partition here to divide the space inside of this cabinet. And we usually the distance between this board to this top panel and the bottom panel should be the same. We could use this function which called divide equally divided. If we clicked it, you can see a difference. Now the distance to the top and to the bottom are the same. It could also be used in other places. For example, if I'm going to add some drawers down here, I'm going to do it first. Press and drag, let go. Press and drag, let go. You can see there are still some space left here. If we really need to cover them all, we could move the drawers place by drag it, but it's not very convenient. At this time, we could use this function again. Like if we choose these two drawers together and then click this, you could see the space down here are fully used. And then if we click to display this door, a very simple or the basic cabinet is done like in a real quick time. And about here, we could also see the structure of inside of this board, this cabinet. Like if we click this, we could see how many holes are inside of this cabinet. It depends on how we connect or how we do our cabinet. For example, in China we usually use, you could see there are some hardware at each corner of this cabinet. It's called 3-in-1 in this software. We could also change it the connection way. Like if we change it to, oh, I have to return here. If we change it to other connection way, for example, just not connected, then no holes will be made here. Maybe some others, maybe 2-in-1. There are also like there will be different type of holes here. And when you are doing the production, the holes will be made when you are cutting the board. And if this cabinet is done, before we do the production, there will be like a review function. we could do that. We could click here to let this software to help us to check if there is any mistake about this cabinet. For example, if I would do a mistake first. Uh, for example, about this board, I'm going to extend it. There's like an indent function. I'm going to uh, do a pre-indent, for example, 20 millimeters. It will be deducted from the in front of this board. But if I do a minus 20, it will be extended 20 millimeters. And now if we, there will be like, you can see conflict between this door and this panel. Now if we do the review again, it will remind you like there will be like a conflict about these two boards. And mistakes like this would be detected and the system would remind you about this. And then let's make it back. And if the check after the review the checking everything is done, we could save it. And now there would be like QR code. It's for WeChat. If we're using WeChat to scan this QR code, the clients would be able to see how this room is like uh, on their mobile phone. But if the clients didn't have the WeChat or they didn't use WeChat, we could use this open link. And there would be an interface just like like the design part. It's basically the same. And the customer of us, they could say this on their mobile phone or computer. If they don't have WeChat, you could just send this address to them, and they can also open it at their cell phone, and then the customer could explore this cabinet or this room by themselves. For example, they could also see the animation here to see how this cabinet is. They could also like change the color of the cabinet to see what kind of color they want. Oh, here because I haven't add the color in my account, so there is not. After we add it up, the color the customer could choose it here, and they could see how it looks like. If he want to change it to another one or do adding changes, they could do it here.